Hey y'all, it's Kate from the Apothecary and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming in with my very last Sphinx video for you all. I'm going to be talking about the 5 novellas that I read throughout this whole competition that rated the highest for me with my call pile rating scores. I'm going to start from the quote lowest and go up to the top, so stay tuned to see all 5 of them. There will be links in the description below of my full reviews for these. I will link places where you can purchase these novellas for yourself and read them along. A lot of these are on Kindle Unlimited, I believe, and so if you're a Kindle Unlimited person, stay tuned for more for that. So number 5 is Bad Grains by Suzanne Schmidt. This was a novella I read in the semifinal rounds, and what I loved most about Bad Grains was we had great characters and engaging plot. We had a main character who is, I believe, 11, and her brother and his friends disappear one day on the walk home from school, and all of the grown-up do not remember these characters. It's like they never existed. Everything disappears from these characters' lives, and our main character is one of 2 people in the entire town that remember her brother, and she has to find him and bring him back. And I just loved going on this journey with our main character. It was so great. Number 4 is The Collector's Lost Things by Jessica A. McMinn. This was another book I read in the semifinal round. This was a quiet yet powerful story of love, grief, power, and hunger. Our main character is a collector, which in this world is a kind of a title, and he's really good at it, but he does things for people in power, but he's always questioning why he does it. And I just loved to see him working through some things of, you know, like I said, love and grief and power and hunger. And The Collector's Lost Things was just one of those books that kind of snuck up on me at the end. I was reading and I was thinking, you know, this is a good novella, this is solid. And then by the time I finished it, I found myself thinking about it more than I thought I would, more than I thought I was thinking about it. Number 3 is A Wolf in Thieves' Clothing by Lily Ann Crow. This was a novella I read in the final round, and I just loved this novella so much. It is super short, it reads really quickly, and you could definitely read it in one sitting. If I wasn't reading a whole bunch of books at the same time and had other things going on in my life, I would have definitely just breezed right through this in one sitting. What I loved most about A Wolf in Thieves' Clothing is the realistic characters, and the pacing was just right on point. I never questioned the pacing at all in this novella. It didn't feel like it was too fast. Even though it read quickly, it obviously didn't feel like it read too slow. Never once did the pacing feel off in this novella. And that just is an underrated quality in novellas. A lot of the novellas that I read in this competition had trouble with their pacing because it felt like these authors weren't used to writing novellas. And when you write a novella compared to a novel, it's a whole different take on it. It's a whole different process that you have to do. Same with writing a short story. And so I felt like Lily Ann Crow really mastered the technique of novella writing. And I can't wait to read more from her. Number 2, A Sorrow Named Joy by Sarah Chorn. Now, you might recognize Sarah's name because she is a big-time editor for a lot of indie writers, and she's fantastic about what she does. But she's also an incredible writer in her own right. A Sorrow Named Joy was a quiet yet powerful story of self-discovery and living for one's own. She had honest and moving prose and honest characters and relationships that just moved me to tears. After I finished Sarah Chorn's novella, I just sat there and thought deep about the characters and the story and my own life and how it still relates to my own life, even though this is a science fiction novella. It was just so incredibly moving. I can't stop thinking about it. Which leaves us our number 1 novella in the Sphinx Championship. That is Shattered Spirits, The Fall of Ishkarn by Cal Black. Now, this was the very first novella that I read in this whole competition, and it was the only novella I gave 5 out of 5 stars. So that gives you a little insight to just how much I love Shattered Spirits. I still talk about it today. I read this back in September of last year when the competition just started. To me, this novella was as near perfect as I've read. The characters were complex and realistic and engaging. The plot was well done. It wrapped itself up, but it left you still wanting more. The pacing was on point. The atmosphere and the setting was super, super spooky for this spooky story. It was just, everything was just done so well. I would not change a single thing in this novella. So if you're looking for some fantasy, sci-fi, speculative fiction novellas that you want some quick reads to be doing, I highly recommend these 5. These were my top 5 novellas that I read in the whole competition. I think is 20-some, 30-some novellas I read total. All of these novellas were amazing in their own right, and they were all amazing for different reasons. They all had different themes going on. If you want to talk more about these novellas, hit me up in the comments, and I'll tell you about the right times to read these novellas, because they all have different vibes to them, and it feels like that you would most appreciate them reading them at different times of the year or for different reasons if you're looking for different things in novellas. If you've read any of these novellas before, let me know in the comments below. What did you think of them? Did you love them as much as I did? If you've read these authors before, let me know where I should start next with these authors. This was all first time reads for me with these authors, and I can't wait to read more of these authors. As always, keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.